Repeat after me. I, Chad Gorham,
I, Chad Gorham,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
so long as I continue
so long as I continue
a citizen thereof,
a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly
and I will faithfully and honestly
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
of Jackson County Board of Education,
of Jackson County Board of Education,
District Number 3,
District Number 3,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Robert King,
I, Robert King,
solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
so long as I continue
so long as I continue
a citizen thereof,
a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and honestly
and honestly
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
of Jackson County Board of Education,
Jackson County Board of Education,
District 4,
District 4,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
We'll go ahead and call this regular board meeting, the Jackson County Board of Education, to order. As we typically do, we will take the very first part of this meeting to reflect and pray about the things that are going on in our county and our nation and around the world. So you notice that we all still have our mask on, so COVID is still a real thing, and it's affecting our employees and it's affecting our students, and so certainly be in prayer and be in thought for those who are affected this way. So if you'll bow with me, please. Thank you. Just like in our work session, we have to approve the agenda. So we have agenda before us, and we've had that one for some time. So do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make the motion.
Okay. Mr. Matthews makes that motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Knight's going to second that. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then the agenda is approved. The first thing we have is board member officer elections. Jenna, this is where we're establishing board president and vice president, correct? Okay, so each year we have to establish a board president and a board vice president. So we will open the floor for nominations for board president.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Gorham for board president.
Are there any others? Are we sure there's not any others? I appreciate that, Mr. Matthews. Do we have nominations for vice president?
I would like to nominate Dr. Guess as vice president.
Okay. Are there any others? So we have a motion to close the nominations on those.
I make a motion.
Okay, was there a second?
I second.
Okay, so all in favor of closing the floor on those nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So now we will vote to approve both of those. All in favor of approving the nominations for president and vice president. Do we have a motion to approve those?
I make a motion.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second to approve those nominations.
I'll second.
We have a second. All in favor of approving those, say aye.
Aye.
Dr. Guest, are you and I going to abstain on that? Or we're just going to let it roll? Okay, we're going to let it roll. I do want to point out that we acknowledge that new board members were given copies of the School Board Governance Improvement Act, Model Code of Conduct, and the Certificate of Affirmation. So Mr. King and I both have those documents. B, we have a resolution of a new term for superintendent. And we will take a motion to adopt the resolution for a new term.
I make the motion.
All right, Mr. Matthews. We have a second?
Second.
Yes. All in favor of approving this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that resolution is passed. C, we have, agreement of a new term. Is that gonna be a,
Can I pose a question here?
yes, ma'am?
We have an agreement, using this school board's model here for the new term, but it's my understanding that they ask for when they audit each year, they ask for a copy of a contract.
Okay.
So at this point, is it appropriate to ask our lawyer to develop a
that.
contract based on our approval of this?
Yes. Mr. Porter, you heard Dr. Guest.
I
She's
did.
wanting you to draft the contract for us.
Can do that.
Okay. All right. So an agreement of a new term will actually be, so some clarification on that, Mr. Porter. Since we've approved the resolution,
Yes, sir.
from what we have here, and do you need us to share that with you now so that you see? Do you have a copy of that?
I have one that has blanks in it,
Okay.
so you can share that with me, and from that I can draft the contract.
Okay. All right, we'll share this one with you. So on the agreement of a new term, clarification on that one, Kevin, you know?
That the resolution is what it is stating, and then the terms of the new term,
Okay.
the agreement of new
Will be
terms.
which will be this, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
which will be that.
So, since we have.
It's like the first one is a statement.
Mr. Porter, can I
the
ask you a
second
question here?
You can.
So we have a resolution?
Yes, sir.
We've approved a resolution. The terms and the contract will be worked out. Can we approve that one at our December meeting? Do we need to go?
December meeting, yes, you can do it at the December meeting.
So, okay. So that way we would be, we would have that contract. We've already approved what the term of that's gonna be. Any addition, so the official contract would need to be approved in December?
Yes, sir, you can do that. You can do one of two things, I think.
Okay,
You can either approve, you've already approved the resolution,
sure.
which will be part of that new contract or the new agreement. So you can either wait until the agreement is drafted and specifically adopt and approve that contract that the superintendent would also agree to. Or you can approve it tonight, subject to the terms of that contract. Whichever way you want to do that,
Okay,
if that makes sense.
yeah. Does, the board have a feeling on how they wanna do that?
I'd say let's just go on through it now.
Okay,
That's my thoughts. We can ask everybody else.
okay. Any thoughts?
Yes.
Good to do it now? Okay. All right. Good, Robbie?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, all right. Then, as Mr. Porter stated, we will take that contingent upon, the terms being worked out by Mr. Porter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So do we have a motion to accept the agreement of the new term contingent on the contract being worked out by Mr. Porter?
I make the motion.
We have a motion,
Second?
we have a second. Any discussion? Move to vote all in favor of approving the agreement, new term contingent upon the details being worked out by our school board attorney, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then that has been approved. Okay. That one took a little longer, we don't do that very much. So we'll move into general business. A, consider a motion for any corrections, additions, or deletions to the September 14th, 2020 board meeting and work session minutes and the September 29th, 2020 special called board meeting minutes.
I make the motion.
Okay, we'll make a motion to approve those. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a second by Mr. Knight. Any discussion? All in favor of approving those minutes, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So they are approved. B, consider a motion to approve the bid for school nurse supply in the amount of $42,670 for the purchase of pulse oximeter for each school. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? And all in favor of approving B, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So that is approved. Mr. King, you gotta be quick on the draw.
I see
That's what I
that.
just told him.
We're gonna dock his pay if he doesn't. We'll make him second something here in a minute, make a motion. C, consider a motion to approve the renewal of Lightspeed Relay content filter through ITS in the amount of $25,500.
What is that?
Lightspeed. So, and Derek, you can fill in on this, but this is going to be for part of our internet services, right?
That's the internet content filter, so we remain in CIPA compliance to be eligible for federal funding.
Okay. All right.
I'll make that motion.
Motion. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Have a second. Any other discussion or questions? All in favor of approving this contract, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So we are approved on C. D, consider a motion to approve the renewal of Microsoft license renewal through Dell for operating systems and Office 365 in the amount of $32,148.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Do we have any discussion? We'll move to approve. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is approved. E, consider a motion to approve the deletion of fixed assets supplemental inventory. We have that list here before us. And won't read it all, but we get these fixed asset lists from time to time. You know, it's things that are broken or obsolete, and we have to take them off our inventory. So this is coming from Hollywood School. I'll make a motion to approve that deletion of fixed assets. Is there a second? All right, we have a second. All right, so second that. Any discussion? All in favor of approving those deletions, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And then that is approved. F, consider a motion to approve the facilities construction manager job description. And that one was added today. I think Mr. Jukes may have spoken to everyone about that. And initially, this job posting was brought before the board back in 2013, I do believe, and it's laid, so we're now ready to adopt this one if it passes.
I'll
So,
make the motion.
a motion to approve that. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving this facilities construction manager's job description, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So that job description has been approved. G, we have an instructional coordinator's job description that was at one time was listed for 240 days. It was a job description that went and reduced the number of days of that contract to 202. We're now looking to take it back to 240 days. And if you will look, you have a copy of that somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's discuss this instructional coordinator's job description just for a second. Mr. Dukes, before we even get into a motion or anything, will you kind of give us a little bit of backstory if I hadn't covered it well enough there?
Well, the money for curriculum comes from federal programs, the PD money and things like that. So curriculum has been kind of on an island by itself, and I'd like for it to fall under the federal programs, supervisors, fall under him, so curriculum could go with that. Where curriculum has fell kind of by itself, it gives us an opportunity to have 2 or 3 people working with curriculum based on who we've got now. And if posted and approved, and the amount, it being a coordinator position rather than a supervisor position, it's going to save us about $10,000 a year overall.
Okay.
And going from 202 to 240, with the Literacy Act, we feel we need more time. We need a 12-month person instead of a 10-month person.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. You can see the terms of the contract who they'll answer to. Then we have essential functions, and I think we had Mr. Duke's week in looking at this. I think we had a change that we wanted to propose to the essential functions. Dr. Guest, will you read that, please?
Yes.
Board.
Number 9 on the essential functions. That particular task is now Mr. Pritchett's area, and it needs to stay with Mr. Pritchett, directing the activities of the technology coaches. So we need to, I think, delete that one. And then on the number 10, I believe we need to make that assist in the planning, implementation, and documentation of professional development pertaining to technology. And I kind of paraphrase the end of that. But when we delete number 9, what I would recommend putting in its place is serve as the liaison for the district with the state of Alabama's reading and math and science initiatives. That's AMSTI and ARI. They're very important programs, and we will need a person dedicated to seeing that we're doing what we need to do there. So, instead of deleting number 9, change number 9 completely.
Yeah.
And then add assist in to planning, implementing, and documenting professional development. And that brings that all into being totally about instruction. We'll have a person who will work on instruction with all our schools. And that will be an amazing gift.
Does anyone have any questions related to those, what Dr. Guest has described as a alternate entry for number 9 and a revision of number 10? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Typically, when we get a job description like this, it would lay on the table until our next scheduled board meeting. We feel that we need to actually move forward with this position so that we can get it posted and move into the second semester with somebody in place as our curriculum person. Mr. Buckner, who has been serving as our curriculum instructor, our supervisor, is taking another job, so we're without right now. So we're down a body, and you can't hardly get down a body in instruction. So in order to move forward with this, we will have to vote to suspend the rules to accept this job description and approve of it. So do we have a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion and we have a second. Dr. Guest second that. Any discussion on suspending the rules? I will say that suspension of rules is not something we do all of the time, but there are on occasions, times that we do need to do that. So if you were doing it all the time, we're probably doing something wrong, but this is an occasional option that really helps us out. So that being said, we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. Okay. And now we're going to consider a motion to approve the amended instructional job coordinator's job description from 202 days to 240 days to include the new description for number 9 and the rewording of item 10.
Right.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion? All right. Then all in favor of approving this amended instructional coordinator job description, say aye. Aye. Is there any opposed? Then that job description has been approved. Jenny, you getting all that? Okay. All right. H, consider a motion to amend the instructional coordinator's salary schedule. I think you put that in there. Kevin?
It is right here.
It's in there. Okay. All right. So you see that, that coordinator's position where it lists 240 days and also 202. Typically, Mr. Porter, this would also lay.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna need, if we're gonna approve this, in order to be ready, we'll need to, again, suspend the rules to approve that. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
See that. Just looking at that salary schedule, is there any questions there related to, those figures? Anybody got a question for Mr. Dukes before we? Good? Okay. So, we'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules in order to be able to, vote on the salary schedule, mini salary schedule.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion to suspend the rules. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion on suspending the rules in this, for this situation? All in favor of suspending the rules, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then we will now take the motion to amend the instructional coordinator salary schedule.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion now on the salary schedule? Hearing no discussion, we'll move to a vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then the salary schedule is opposed. It's not opposed, it's approved. We shouldn't have any more suspension of the rules. I want to say that for the evening. Under personnel, A, consider motion to approve family medical leave for Robin White, countywide school bus driver from August the 3rd through November the 5th. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. I'm good with grouping. Do y'all want to group the remainder of these leaves? All right, I
Yes.
guess it's yes.
Yes.
Good with that?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to look at items B through I. Items B through I. These are all leaves, and you can see the corresponding dates to each one of those. We'll entertain a motion to approve the leaves B through I.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a second. Mr. King, second that one. Any discussion? All in favor of approving these leaves B through I, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, those leaves have been approved. Under retirements, we have a couple. I'm going to call those individually for their service. We have A, consider a motion to accept the retirement of Donna Barrington, child nutrition bookkeeper, effective November the 1st, 2020. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? If you know Donna Barrington, you know how sweet she is and what kind of a fixture she's been in this office for a long time. She'll be missed. All in favor of approving this retirement, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Retirement has been approved. B, consider a motion to accept the retirement of Pat Poe, a nurse, effective January the 1st, 2021.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Ms. Poe also will be missed. All in favor of approving this retirement, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're also going to let Ms. Poe retire. Under resignations, we can take these A through D if it's okay with everybody.
Sounds
Good with that, Rob?
Yeah.
Mike, you good? Yes. Okay. Notice that the dates are a little bit different, but we will entertain a motion to consider the resignations A through D.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Mike's going to take that second. Any discussion on those resignations? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, those resignations are approved. Under transfers, we have 2 transfers, and those are newly added. So you can take a look at those. Make sure you're familiar. A, consider a motion to approve the transfer of Joy Fowler from a 4-hour custodian at Woodville High School to technical school bus driver at Woodville High School effective November the 20th. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving this transfer, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Transfer is approved. B, consider a motion to transfer Christy McLeod from countywide instructional aid to pre-K auxiliary aid at Stevenson Elementary School effective November the 30th.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Under employments, we have a number of those. Let's do those individuals since they're employments. A, consider motion to employ Regina Britt, 84% teacher at Bryant School, effective November the 4th.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, Dr. Guest got you on that one, Robbie. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. B, consider a motion to employ Penny Evans, a county-wide school nurse. Initially, she's going to be placed at Stevenson Elementary, effective January the 4th.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of approving that, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. C, consider a motion to employ Kara Oliver, a county-wide school nurse. Her initial location will be Macedonia, effective January the 4th. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we got a second down here, Mr. King. Any discussion? All in favor of approving that, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. D, consider a motion to employ Caitlin Manning as a countywide instructional aide effective November the 30th.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Dr. Guess, any discussion? All in favor of approving this, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. E, consider a motion to employ Hunter Hall as a countywide Indian Ed aide effective November the 20th.
Make the motion.
We have a motion, Mr.
Second.
King. We have a second. Mr. Matthews, do you have any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. F, consider a motion to employ James Byers as a PE teacher at Stevenson Elementary School effective November the 20th.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second, Mr. Knight. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to vote. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Under contracts, we have to consider a motion to approve the contract between the Jackson County Board of Education and North Sand Mountain School for transportation assistance for the 2021 school year.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Dr. Guess. So discussion on that, I will say, just to reiterate that this makes probably, gosh, the 6th or 7th contract that we've signed like this. This allows us to pay some teachers to ride the bus for as an aid, basically, transportation aid. Really helps us out. We'll entertain a motion on that. We already got the first. We got a motion. We got a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So that motion carries. Coaching assignments. Can we do A through D? A through D is one, and then we're going to do E separately. I think we have somebody's going to have to abstain on that. So look at A through D. Are y'all good to doing those in one motion?
Yes.
Okay, good. Robbie, you good for doing A through D?
Yes.
Okay. We will consider a motion to approve the coaching assignments A through D.
I'll make the motion.
All right, we have a motion A through D. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second A through D. Any discussion on those? All in favor of approving coaching assignments A through D, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Now we have our item E, which is our fishing boat captains for Skyline School. And Mr. King has pointed out that one is a relative, so we're gonna break that out and vote on it. We'll take E, and we're just gonna leave. Rob, we're gonna leave it in there. Just if you want to, just abstain on this
Okay.
whole one. We won't have to break out individual numbers. All right. So we're going to consider a motion to approve the following boat captains at Skyline School, and you can see those 1 through 10. We have a motion to approve those boat captains.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? No discussion, so we're gonna vote on E, considering the motion to free those vote captains. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? E has been approved. We will now take F through H, if that's okay with everybody.
Yes.
Okay, good. Dr. Guess, good?
Yes.
Okay, right. Consider a motion for the coaching assignments F through H. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second, Mr. King. Any discussion? And we'll move to vote on approving coaching assignments F through H. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We have none opposed, so those have been approved. Under announcements, Mr. Dukes, do you want to talk about the next board meeting too?
Before I do that, I've got a couple of
that's
these
right.
things right here. Certificate of Achievement presented to Mr. Matthews for completion of Level 1 from the Alabama Association of School Boards for the 19 and 20 year. To Dr. Angela Guest for completion of Level 2 in the Alabama Association of School Boards for 2019 and 2020. And also, we had several People's Choice Awards that were in the Jackson County Sentinel. One, which I didn't have a certificate for, was County Board Member of the Year was Chad Gorham. The best coach in the county, Derek Wynn of Section. The best teacher educator in the county, DeWade Fowler. The best principal in the county, Craig Robbins. The best bus driver in the county, Shirley Avens. And the best elementary school in the county, Dutton Elementary. And if you would like to come get this, Miss Gorham, representing Dutton School, we'll be glad to give it to you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
The next board meeting, we typically like to do it on the third Thursday of the month, but we're going to have a conflict the third Thursday of December, so I was wondering if we could do it either that Monday or that Tuesday, which is the 14th or 15th of December.
I'm good either day.
What does y'all schedule look like?
What about you?
Good.
14th, 15th, good. Both those days, Dr. Guess, are you in town?
Either day.
Chris, what about you, bro?
I think I should be good.
Okay. Let's go with, can we go with the 15th? December the 15th? You want to do December the 15th, work session at 5, board meeting to follow it?
That'll work.
To follow, I like
To
that.
follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to do work session at 5 o'clock. Board meeting will follow. That will begin, work session begin at 5 o'clock. Okay. Announcements too, Mr. Dukes, we've got North Sun Mountain still playing football.
Tomorrow night, North Sun Mountain is playing at Spring Garden at 7 o'clock. The third round of the playoffs. This is the second time in school history, last year being the first. That is a big deal, for the players, the coaches, the school, for the whole community, and the feeder schools. Coach Kirby has done an outstanding job with that program, and there's Fife is around in DeKalb County, North Sun Mountain, and Jackson County. That's it. That's it. And Madison, Marshall, DeKalb, Jackson County. So we're very excited about that.
So be thinking about that, and I would say run out and watch it, but if you don't have a ticket, you're not going to get in. It's limited to those. So
And Mr. Gorham, I'd like to, Ms. Vernon, I didn't get to see your presentation. I had something thrown at me today at work unexpectedly. But even going to you and your people, I know we got principals, we got teachers in here tonight. Thank all of you for what you do. When I was asked to sit in this seat, I thought I knew the school system, but I didn't know how many people that you don't see from the street that it takes to run a school system. And you see the teachers, you see the principals, but you don't see everyone, and it takes everyone to make it go. And just principals, other teachers in here, let your people know, because they don't get told enough.
Yep.
Especially in times like this. But thank you guys for what you do.
appreciate that. So we'll give you a round of applause too. we've had lunchroom workers quarantined, and we've had everybody, all hands on deck serving lunches, and we've had bus drivers that have picked up double routes and sometimes probably more, and so it takes a village sometimes to get it done, but we appreciate it. employees.
Takes the whole team,
It does,
the
yeah.
whole team.
Sometimes you go to overtime, and we're proud of them. Any other announcements? Okay. Jana, normally this is when we set aside our delegate assembly and stuff, but since that's online, I think I don't care to sit in on that if I need to, but. All right, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
A second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, meeting's adjourned.
Let's see.